Hey there, welcome to Movie Review Mom. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today, the movie I'm reviewing is called Lightyear. This prequel to the extremely popular Toy Story franchise, which I love, is now available in theaters. It's rated PG and is an hour and 40 minutes long. Now, I'm going to give you my score at the very beginning, but I want you to keep watching so you understand why I'm giving it the grade that I am. And I've gone back and forth as to what I want to grade it, but I'm going to say B minus C plus, which is terrible for a Pixar movie. So let me explain. First, in a nutshell, while spending years attempting to return home, marooned Space Ranger Buzz Lightyear encounters an army of ruthless robots commanded by Zurg, who are attempting to steal his fuel source. The Buzz Lightyear toy that we all know and love from the Toy Story franchise is supposed to be based on this Buzz Lightyear, as if this were the movie that Andy had watched many years ago when he was a little kid and fell in love with Buzz Lightyear. Okay, so that's the scoop. So my biggest complaint is that this movie doesn't feel or look like the movie that Andy from Toy Story would have watched as a little kid. Right? It's far too woke for the time when he would have been young. So it's not tanking at the box office just because of the political controversy of a same-sex kiss, but because it's just not really that great of a movie, which again is so unusual for Disney Pixar. So where was the nostalgia that fans were craving in this movie? It's just a disappointment. And I think it's probably not fair for Disney and Pixar because we expect greatness from them. I mean, if it were from any other studio that was maybe even just beginning in the animation industry, we would have said, oh, wow, great job. But we expect perfection, and maybe that's just not fair or even realistic. But let me give you the list of things that I really liked, and then I'll go into some of the things that I thought could have been better. First of all, I love Chris Evans as Marvel's Captain America. So I liked his voice in this, and I thought he did a good job, although I wondered why Tim Allen wasn't chosen. Now, again, Tim Allen's voice is for the toy, but when would you ever create a toy and then not use that actor's voice? So politics has jumped into this. Yes, Tim Allen is conservative and has been very vocal about supporting President Donald Trump. And we've seen Disney crack down on conservative actors and people in the Disney circles. For example, Gina Carano, if they even share their political perspective and it's opposite of what Disney believes. And it's interesting to watch Disney on this evolution, shall we call it, of their political perspective, because Disney used to be considered conservative and a safe choice for families and parents. And now they're trying very hard to show that they're diverse and woke and all of that. So believe what you may, it's definitely affecting their movies and their viewership and subscribers, and even the Disney Plus access. You know, people are dropping off. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Back to Chris Evans. He shares the same birthday, June 13th, with Tim Allen, who voiced the Buzz Lightyear Toy Story in the Toy Story franchise movies. At the big movie premiere, Chris Evans joked to James Brolin that he was sorry about beating up his son, Josh Brolin, who played in the Avengers Endgame movie, Thanos, you know, who's the bad guy. Anyway, I thought that was really cute. And this is the dad, James Brolin's very first animated movie. The other voice talents come from director, actor Taika Waititi. Always fun to hear his voice, see him on screen, watch him direct movies, all of that. Just a talented guy with a really fresh, unique voice out there. Also, as I mentioned, James Brolin, Efren Ramirez, Uzo Aduba, Bill Hader, and Keke Palmer, among many others, of course. The animation itself is stellar, pun intended. Pixar absolutely excels at visual details. I love it. And this is their finest. I mean, they keep getting better and better and better. It's amazing what they can do. Sometimes I would look and it seemed like it was real life, not animation. So you can tell that Disney owns the Star Wars franchise now because quite a few of the characters looked like they were designed straight out of that universe, especially from The Mandalorian. You'll see the uniforms and stuff when you'll recognize them. And in fact, there are several scenes in the foggy forest inspired by those foggy forest scenes in Star Wars. The original working title for this movie was called Tempest from Morph. I definitely like Lightyear way better. There are tons of Easter eggs for Toy Story fans too. So look, for example, look for the little Pixar lamp, like when they do the logo and the lamp goes, look at that. And it's in a constellation of stars, which I think is really cute. I love details. I love Easter eggs, and it's a nod to the fans. And I consider that a thank you to the fans for sticking with them. I also really love that Zurg is in the movie. So no spoilers, but there's an interesting reveal about him in this movie. All right, so I did enjoy the movie. However, there were some things that I didn't like so much. And first of all is the plot and the dialogue. They're unexpectedly advanced, probably too advanced for the young target audience. And so I'm wondering, has Pixar forgotten about the kids and instead are they marketing to the parents exclusively now? This movie kind of felt like that. And I understand if that really was their goal, because the kids that began watching the first Toy Story movies are now much older. And so maybe they're trying to grow with their fan base. I don't know. But again, we always associate Disney, Pixar with children's movies. So it just seemed like a little bit of a disconnect. And then I was completely surprised to feel boredom during certain scenes while watching this. I hoped for so much more, but was kind of disappointed. It felt like it should have been a Disney Plus release rather than a big theatrical one. And speaking of box office, this movie is doing terribly in theaters. It only earned $51 million opening weekend, losing to the also disappointing Jurassic World Dominion on its second week. So that should definitely catch Disney's attention. Those are numbers that are no bueno. Kids want to laugh and have fun, right? And sure, there's plenty of action and adventure, but the humorous moments I felt were far and few between. Disney appears to be completely hijacked by liberals who are trying super hard to make woke movies that audiences appear to be rejecting. And this one is missing the magic and the heart that has made Disney famous. In the words of future Buzz Lightyear in this movie, he says, quote, "You've changed and not for the better." And a lot of people are saying Walt Disney is rolling in his grave right now. And so again, a lot of this has to do with that same-sex kiss that's shown very briefly between lesbians in a montage in the movie. It's been obviously controversial, resulting in 14 countries banning the movie, such as Muslim countries and a lot of Asian countries like the United Arab Emirates and Spain, Mexico, Colombia, Malaysia, and more. The world's largest movie market right now is China, which has also banned the film specifically for that same-sex kiss. So for a time, the kiss was actually removed, and then it was restored when Disney employees themselves revolted after the company donated money to the politicians who supported the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. I don't know if you remember that. All right, so let me give you some tips for parents. Again, a lesbian talks about getting married to her girlfriend, and then later we see her kiss her wife in that montage. People are in perilous situations almost the entire time of the movie. There's a huge variety of weapons, lots of space hero violence. A character who served time in jail yells, "The cops! Everybody run." And again, that could be considered controversial given what's been happening politically in the United States with police and defunding the police and that kind of stuff. All right, so let me tell you some themes that I thought were illustrated well. They are mortality and aging, making your life matter, family, legacy, courage, and self-sacrifice for the good of others. So I always write down funny lines and interesting lines and include them in my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So you can check them out over there. So I'll share just a couple of them with you right now. So one is spoken by Socks the cat, who's voiced by Peter Son. And many people are saying Socks the cat is the best part of this movie. I was entertained, but he wasn't my favorite thing that I had ever seen coming out of Disney or Pixar, which again tells you some of the weaknesses of this film. But anyway, Socks the cat says about something that happens, and this is actually in the trailer. He says, "That was utterly terrifying, and I regret having joined you." He's actually like this little robot, so I probably gave him too much animation in the voice. And then Darby, who's the one who was in prison, says, "I got off on good behavior, not a good attitude." And again, it's supposed to be funny, but it's also kind of odd that she's like an astronaut. And how did she end up there? Anyway, and then some interesting lines are one by Taika Waititi, and he says, "I am a man of resources. My weapon is ingenuity." And I actually like that because I think that is a great skill to develop. And then another interesting line is when Izzy says, "You don't need to save us, you need to join us." And she's voiced by Keke Palmer. And then I'll end up with this one. So Buzz Lightyear, again, voiced by Chris Evans, says, "Respect the suit." And there's kind of a fun play between, the old legendary astronauts and the new up and coming ones, and difference of opinion and that kind of stuff. All right. So I always give recommendations for movies that are somewhat similar or better. And in this case, I'm going to say definitely better is the Toy Story franchise itself. And of course, the first one, it's a classic. But every single one of those Toy Story movies has the heart. I cried in all of them. And on this one, this new Lightyear, it just didn't really grab me emotionally like the other ones. And again, that's very unusual for Pixar because they excel at that. So ultimately, I was just disappointed and underwhelmed. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. I would absolutely love to hear your opinion. Thank you so much for supporting me, for watching my videos. Be sure and like them, subscribe, you know the drill, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.